up? What's up? What's up? I don't know if I'm gonna get anybody. I just decided, like at the last freaking minute, I wanted to talk. There are things that need to be talked about, starting with Twitter. And I think I'm gonna jump. I think I'm gonna jump into Twitter Spaces as well. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna jump into Twitter Spaces as well. We're gonna talk about Twitter on Twitter. That's gangster. That's gangster. Yeah, that's gangster. You're gonna talk about Twitter on Twitter. Show you better than I can tell you. So I'm talking about Twitter on Twitter. I'm also on YouTube Live. I'm also on Facebook Live. I'm also on Twitch. So if y'all want to see, for whatever reason you want to see my face, I appreciate it. After the Snap Movies and TV on all of those different places. We need to talk about Twitter. What the heck is really going on? I honestly believed for a long time. This is like before I got to know Elon Musk. And I feel like we are getting a better understanding of who Elon Musk is right now. I thought he was a genius. And look, this is not to say that just because he's effing things up over on Twitter that he's not smart. I'm not saying that. That wouldn't be smart of me to say that. I know the man is smart in a lot of ways. And in an awful lot of ways, he's got, we sometimes make rich people, we equate rich with smart. Those two things are not, they're not tied at the hip. They can be separated. You can be rich and you can be dumb as a box of rocks. Now, I'm not saying that's Elon Musk, but I don't want nobody coming for me. On April 14th of this year, Elon Musk began to acquire Twitter. He said he wanted to make this purchase for $44 billion for Twitter. He started buying the shares in January of 2022, and then he became the company's largest shareholder in April. He owns 9.1% of Twitter right now. So now Twitter is owned primarily by Elon Musk. And from that point on, from the point of like maybe, has it been even 2 months that he has taken full control, his whole regime has really taken hold, and he has become the man around this MF at Twitter. Now it's like, okay, he is, shit is hitting the fan. I mean, I know that there are growing pains anytime a business is taken over, anytime there is a regime switch, any of that. Trust me, I've been part of those types of takeovers myself, as not as the takeover, but as one of the people who was caught up in the mess. I worked at, for example, this is just one example, and it kind of is, it's kind of pertinent to what we're talking about here today. One of the businesses that I was part of when I worked for him, when a takeover occurred, was a Trump casino. Yes. So no, not one of the major ones. Any casino should be a major business though, because you should never, ever, ever, ever be able to lose money as a casino. But here we are. Sometimes this stuff happens. I was working for Trump Casino in Gary, Indiana, and I worked there for I'll say 4 or 5 years before Trump, did one of his Trump things and said, hey, no, there's nothing wrong here, nothing to see here. Everything is running A-OK. Any rumors that you might have heard that this business is being sold or I'm going to file bankruptcy is completely incorrect. And months later, and I'm talking like just a few months later, you all already know the deal. He filed bankruptcy. The business got taken over, and a lot of people got lost in that, and by lost, I mean we ended up going through mass layoffs and um, having to worry about whether or not we would have a job. And then, if we do have a job, wondering what would change as far as the corporate structure, as far as our benefits packages, as far as our protections, what would change now that we are working or we have another owner, so to speak. So been there, done that. This Twitter though, this is a hot effing. I have never seen an implosion like this. I talked about the Kanye implosion. A lot of people, got on me. They was upset that I'm talking about the fact that Kanye West has imploded. And now it's like that's yesterday's news. Let's watch Elon Musk and Twitter implode. Crazy, absolutely batshit. And it's mostly because of Elon Musk. And again, before this, I thought Elon Musk was a genius. I still think that he's a pretty bright guy, which makes me ask the question, do we think he's doing this shit on purpose? Is he like destroying this company from the inside on purpose? Because it's hard to believe that somebody could accidentally be doing this. It's hard to believe that this is not intentional. Let's talk about some of the things. It says, Musk's Twitter Fix-It team fades out as billionaire says transition is almost done. Transition is done, baby. You have already, within these few weeks that Elon Musk has been at the helm of Twitter, inside of these few weeks, I think it was 85% of the original workforce of Twitter was either released in the mass layoffs or has decided on their own, we don't want no parts of this. We're quitting. And the latest was, I think it was a couple of days ago. Well, I'm going to go to the Discord because there was a chat when me and Angus was talking about it in the Discord about Elon Musk giving his team basically an ultimatum. And that ultimatum, I think, was given somewhere around November 16th. It could have been the 15th. It could have been the 16th. The ultimatum read as follows: going forward, to build a breakthrough Twitter 2.0 and succeed in an increasingly competitive world, we will need to be extremely hardcore. This will mean working long hours at high intensity. Only exceptional performance will constitute a passing grade. Twitter will also be much more engineering driven. Design and product management will still be very important and report to me, but those writing great code will constitute the majority of our team and have the greatest sway. At its heart, Twitter is a software and servers company, so I think this makes sense. If you are sure that you want to be part of the new Twitter, please check yes on the link below. Then there's a little link. Anyone who has not checked yes on the link below by 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, so last week Thursday, will receive 3 months of severance. Whatever decision you make, thank you for your efforts to make Twitter successful. Signed, Elon. I don't think Elon expected I think it was 2/3 of the people who remained at Twitter said, well, nah, I'll take that 3-month severance. Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me. I'll take that 3-month severance. I don't think he planned on that happening. And whether you planned on it or not, it did. So now you let go of half of your employees as soon as you took over. Then you just lost another 2/3, which means you are running your business off of like literally 10-12% of the of the employees that you had when you took over the business. 12% of the employees is not going to get it. I don't know how you can work like that. And I don't understand what the incentive to workers would be, especially in today's climate. Today's climate, we're in this great resignation phase. We're in a phase of time where the workers are taking the power back that they have. They understand that this place does nothing without us. So if the place has no employees, you need us more than we need you. We can go find another job. You need us to run your business. So treat us like human beings. Treat us like not robots. Give us an incentive to want to do our best job for you. And Elon, and I find that a lot of people my age think like this, and Elon Musk is in my age range. Elon decides that in this climate, I'm going to tell people that, hey, you're going to have to work long hours, high intensity, hardcore. And if you don't want to do it, fine. You don't click this link, we're just going to pay you 3 months severance. I'll take the 3 month severance for whatever how much my 3 month wages are. I'll take that. Because we know that there are other social media companies. And I don't have it written down back here anymore. I had a fan base, Mastodon. What is the other one? Tumblr. Blue Sky is coming. There are a lot of new social media sites where all of these people who were working at Twitter, they can take their show, they can take their talents elsewhere. Take my talents to Blue Sky. I'll take my talents to Mastodon, because Mastodon is growing at such a remarkable rate. They're going to need it. I'll take my talents to Fanbase. Fanbase is the African American startup that is a social media app. If you know, and it needs work, because I just tried to go live on Fanbase. Now look, I'm not shitting on Fanbase. If you are on Fanbase and you're having a different experience, I hope that you'll let me know in the comments or in the chat, wherever you see this. Let me know that you are having a different experience with Fanbase. Every time I try to upload a video to Fanbase, we get the 80% and then it drops. I just tried to go live on Fanbase and it just kicked me out. So look, I want to be supportive of the Black-owned social media site Fanbase. I want to be supportive of them all. There's no such thing as too much exposure when you are a small creator and you just want to have these conversations. It's not even about I'm trying to I'm trying to get rich off of doing this. I want to talk to people. I want to bounce ideas off of people. Fanbase, that ain't it. That ain't how you gonna do it, sir, ma'am. Y'all got to get a little bit better at the reliability of your platform. But that's a whole different story for another day. Maybe some of those people who are leaving Twitter in droves, as far as employees are concerned, they can go and they can be of some help to these smaller social media sites. I refuse to believe that Elon Musk is this bad at business. One of the things that I have come to accept about being in business anywhere, small business, big business, is know what you're good at and then hire people around you to fill in all of your gaps. And obviously, Elon's strong suit is not dealing with people. He's not a people person, it seems. What he says might not be coming across. When you tell your employees going forward to build a breakthrough Twitter 2.0 and succeed in an increasingly competitive world, we're going to need to be extremely hardcore. That's not how you approach some people who you already shook their entire world up and increased their workload when you fired half of their peers. Then you telling them, we're going to need you to work long hours at high intensity. There was a article that had been going viral of a manager at Twitter literally sleeping at the office. Is that what you're talking about when you mean hardcore and high intensity and long hours? Because I'll pass, Elon. I don't want that. And nobody right now wants that. Right now, and I think it's like we're coming out of this pandemic and we are realizing that millions of our counterparts didn't make it. We're on the other side of this pandemic. We are the lucky ones who made it through the pandemic. Some of us made it through without even getting sick. Okay, so now we're on the other side pretty much of this pandemic. And now you're starting to realize what's important. And what's important is not spending 60, 70 hours at work. That's not. It's not that important. It's not so important for me to spend 60 to 70 hours a week at work building up your dream, and my family, only thing they have to remember me by is my signature on a paycheck. So we know now that people have begun to think things a little bit different, think differently about this type of ish. And it's hard for Elon Musk to understand that, because Elon Musk is he was the richest man in the world. He had so much money that even if he worked 100 hours a week, he would never be able to. It would just be pennies on top of what he's already accomplished. And I'm starting to realize that the accomplishment could just be mostly because he was part of a rich family from the beginning over there in South Africa and the emerald mines and doing that. Maybe that's just how he's rich. I thought the man was really smart. I thought the man was really a genius. And we give people credit for being genius. We give people credit for being smart when the only thing they are is really rich. When you come from the bottom and you make that type of fortune, then that makes you kind of smart. That makes you almost a genius. So yeah, Elon, I'm very disappointed in what you're doing over here with Twitter. And I almost feel like the shit is being done on purpose. There's no way you accidentally ruin a company in a matter of 3 weeks. So there are things that he has been tweeting that I guess a lot of people are saying, okay, he is he is trying to do things differently. I don't think he is. Elon has said, okay, should he reinstate former President Trump to Twitter? That was one of the questions. He had reinstated a few other people who had been long time banned. So his question to Twitter in general was, should I reinstate former President Trump? And you know what? I don't believe that silencing Trump or anybody else is the answer. I want to hear what people like Trump and Kanye West. I don't believe in canceling people, period. There is no reason to tell a person that your thoughts, your words, or all of that is completely invalid just because I don't agree with it. That's unrealistic. And it's also unfair that just because somebody has a different opinion than me, that I believe that my opinion trumps all. And Trump being, I believe that he should have reinstated Trump. He put it to a vote. It was a really tight vote. 15 million votes were cast, and 48.2% said no, don't bring them back. The rest said, yeah, bring them on back. And you know what? I say bring them back. I don't care. I want to hear the foolishness that may come out of this man's out of his thoughts. It's better. It's better to know what he's thinking than to have to guess what he's thinking. But anywho, so he's putting up pictures of the things that he is expecting from his workers, and pictures of workers who have decided that, yes, I'm staying. And it doesn't look like, of course, we know it's literally 10 to 12% of the entire Twitter workforce that they had just a few weeks ago. But they look like they want to be there. And you look, if you're saying, I'm cool with it, that's good. It's good that you'll be that person doing that hardcore job, because some people enjoy working at that level. They're young folks and they say that hey, I got nothing but time on my side. I will work like that for the time being. Let me see. Said Trump poll getting 1 million votes per hour. He's just watching. He's with Elon Musk. As a matter of fact, let's share what I'm reading with you so that you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. How rude of me to sit here and watch what's going on Twitter without sharing with you. So let's see. Chrome tab. It's like I can't understand. Oh, and thank you for that like. And if anybody else is out there liking or would like to like, if you like to like, hit the like. But anyway, thank you guys. Elon Musk says the new Twitter policy is freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. Negative/hate tweets will be max deboosted and demonetized, so no ads or other revenue to Twitter. You won't find the tweet unless you specifically seek it out, which is no different from the rest of the internet. And my question is, who gets to decide what is negative and what is hate? So negative to you and negative to me may be two different things, Elon. What if I want to, like right now, I'm doing a live stream and I'm talking about Twitter, and I'm doing it on Twitter Spaces too. So yeah, that's like, I'm a gangster. I'm gonna talk about Twitter on Twitter. Yes, that's what I'm doing. This is my first Twitter Space. I've never done a Twitter Space before. But because I'm talking about Twitter on Twitter, would you consider that hate speech or negative speech? And will you deboost that? And I'm not monetized anyway. But would you deboost that so other people can't find it? They would have to specifically look for me talking about this. I don't understand. I don't understand who gets to make that choice. Why? Hey, Beats. I don't understand who gets to make the choice that this is hate speech and or it's not. I don't get it. Let me ask my sister. She's out here hanging out and supporting me. Sis, did you get to see Black Panther Wakanda Forever yet? Let me know in the comments. I don't know who else I got out here. Somebody else is out here joining me. I appreciate you being here, whomever you are. So Elon Musk, yeah, you losing a lot of people. And not only are you losing a lot of people, you're losing and I'm not sharing yet. Not only are you losing employees, and not only are you losing your money, you losing people who are leaving Twitter and they're like just throwing up the deuces and they're going to other platforms. Now, I have joined a lot of other platforms. I haven't yet left Twitter, but the plan is to leave Twitter. I plan if things continue to go the way they're going, I'm gone, because it seems like it's a dictatorship, and it's a person who has no he cannot relate to a normal person. You're telling your normal, regular employees, be prepared to work. Now that I don't want you to work at home. You guys were working from home. Nope, can't do that anymore. Bring your ass back to work, into the office. And then I'm going to get you here and I'm going to work you long, crazy hours. And you'll never see those kids. You'll never see them. Now, who Who wants to sign up for that shit? He doesn't understand what it's like to be normal, nor does he care to understand. So I say Elon Musk is a problem. Um, and if things continue the way they're going, I'm standing on the side of the employees of Twitter and any of these social media sites, any place, period. 9 times out of 10, if there is a boss and an employee, I'm probably standing with the employee most of the time, because a lot of these jobs basically feel like they own you because they pay you what they consider a fair wage. Is rarely a fair wage, but they pay you what they consider a fair wage. Therefore, they own you. And until that thinking is eradicated, I'm always going to stand with the employee, even when I'm the boss. Even when I'm the person who has to tell you, we need you to work extra hours. We need you to work. We need you to stay and do a double because so-and-so didn't show up. Even when I'm the person who has to do that, I'm still standing with you. If you were to tell me to go fuck myself and find yourself another job, I'd probably applaud you. I was a lesser person, or a greater person would walk out with you. But I was a punk when I was in those shoes. But I did have the utmost of respect for people who said, no, I'm going to put my family first. You don't get to do that too often. How often do you get to say, I'm going to put my family first? Because you're going to go home to your family, boss, manager. And in the meantime, my kids got to warm up shit out of the refrigerator and stuff. They don't get me home to cook a meal. So yeah, I understand. And I understand why the Twitter workers said, you go give me 3 months severance. I'll take 3 months severance. I'll take the 3 month severance. And I don't blame them. Okay. So I wasn't here to like talk for a long, long time about Twitter. If I had more of and my sister hasn't seen it yet, I need her to go see that movie. But I'm not here to shit on Twitter for the entire time, but I was hoping I would have somebody here to shit with me on Twitter, because I am not impressed with the Elon Musk regime, and it's making me to look at him suspect when with any of his other businesses. I was very impressed with Tesla. I was very impressed with the SpaceX, Space Force, whatever it's called, SpaceX. I was impressed with those things, but to be quite honest, it just sounds like he's a slave driver and he's got people working for him and they make him look good, which is what they're supposed to do. But at the same time, you are supposed to respect your workforce. And the public manner in which he's been running Twitter and doing things that are completely disrespectful to the workforce, I have zero respect for him on any level now. And then he's trying to have 3,000 kids. So you bring into the world a bunch of more entitled ass, rich ass. And I'm not saying this about his kids that they necessarily are this way, but he's got a gang of children and they are all, he's bringing them into the world to kind of make sure that we have geniuses. Well, if this is your example of being a genius, I don't need nobody else like you in this world. You and Nick Cannon need to stop. Anywho, my sister says she's going to see that movie. I need her to see it. It's a wonderful movie. And besides that, I'm trying to get that movie. I'm trying to make it make money. I want that movie to reach the highest of heights. And Elon Musk he's saying we hit another all-time high in Twitter usage. Yay! Yay! How do you make a small fortune in social media? Start out with a large one. He's so funny. Okay, so he's back. Is I'm sure referring to Twitter. Now, somebody who and I listen to him or I read his comments and tweets because he's funny to me. It's a guy called I Smoke Twitter at Black Knight 10,000. He says, before you delete Twitter just because he's back, remember, he just tried to murder Republicans 22 months ago, and he's going to blow up the Republican Party first. And that's if the app survives another week. And that's one of the things that I'm saying. I don't think this app is going to survive 6 months. So on November 16th, I wrote over on our Discord, I give Twitter 6 months before we'll be attending its funeral. I said that, and then you start looking at people posted pictures of Twitter's funeral. And most people are saying that they don't expect it to make it 6 months. I'm still sticking with my 6 months. He's gonna be in here fighting Donald Trump. He's gonna be in here fighting with the Republicans because they don't want him to run again. And guess what? I don't either. Yeah, I don't either. I see. I got one of my friends is texting me, but I'm on Twitter Spaces, so I cannot answer her. Let's see what else. What else? I don't want to ruin this flipping movie for my sister who happens to be in the chat and hasn't seen Black Panther. So I'm going to steer away from talking Black Panther for just a few more minutes. And maybe we can stay on Twitter for a little while. People are worried about the future of their children. Don't worry about the future of your children. Teach your kids that the world doesn't run from social media. Look, last night, because we have I haven't, I don't leave the house too often. Gosh, that's a whole different animal, a whole different story for a whole different day. I don't leave the house too often, but so I didn't go see, what's the name of it? Nope. I didn't go see that in theaters. I saw it last night on Peacock. And let me tell you, I literally enjoyed Nope. And because this movie is old as dirt, and if you've not seen Nope yet and you don't want to be spoiled, adios. I don't want to see you go, but I understand. But I watched Nope last night, and let me tell you why I liked it. Especially, I did, Felicia. I did. I enjoyed Nope, and I'm going to tell you why I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because, especially when you look where we are right now. For instance, the other day, the young lady, that video that was going around, I think the young lady's name is Shanquella. Let me look. Shanquella Robinson. A video had been making the rounds of this young lady in Mexico with a group of quote unquote friends. So she's in Mexico with a group of friends, and somebody is recording her as she's in a fight, and she's nude. So the young girl, Shanquella, is nude, and she's fighting, and she wasn't doing an awful lot of fighting back at some points in this video. And ultimately, Shanquella was killed in Mexico, and her friends didn't. I got to put the air quotes, the scare quotes. Her friends didn't report this right away. And why would you not? Why would you come home and leave your friend's body in Mexico? Y'all all went together. So anywho, I put on my Facebook page. Facebook is, I'm going to talk shit about Facebook while I'm on Facebook because I am recording this for Facebook as well. I put up on Facebook, you know what? This is a damn shame. Talking about the young lady, Shanquella, and I said, whatever you do, don't watch the video. You know what that made people want to do? That made people want to watch the fucking video. Now, if I'm telling you, let's not watch this video. Let's not give this video that kind of traction. Why would we go out of our way to be like, I want to watch that video? The reason why I like the movie Nope is because it shined a spotlight on those kinds of things. This is a living, or was a living human being. The worst point in her life, the moment that she might be about to die, somebody is recording it for spectacle. Somebody's got the camera running so that we can continuously relive and be entertained by her pain. That's why when the monkey in Nope, Gordy, you know, they were exploiting this monkey, a living thing, a living being. They were exploiting him for entertainment. And then when the monkey did what monkeys do when they feel threatened or afraid, when the monkey did what monkeys do, they killed the fucking monkey. And then guess what? They even exploited his death. They exploited him his entire life. And then they even exploited his death when he they put the shrine to the murder of this monkey. They did the same thing with the horses. They exploited the horses their entire lives. And then when the horse gets killed, you're exploiting that too. You said I forgot his name. Asian character, I forgot his name in the movie. He was exploiting the animals. He was buying these animals because he had the money. He's buying the animals from the other ranch, exploiting them to get killed by the being that he really wanted to exploit that being. This movie has so many layers and so many messages that I could not hate it, especially the way we live in right now. These people what really hit me was the girl. I'm glad I saw this movie after the Shanquella Robinson incident, because it's like, this is what we're doing. We're entertained by this young lady. And this is not the only time, of course. People were entertained by George Floyd. People were entertained by Philando Castile. People were entertained by all of these young people being killed on camera. And we passing the fucking footage around like joints. And then wondering why people don't look at us as people. They look at us as a source of entertainment. When are you going to entertain us? Y'all either going to tell some jokes and act stupid. You're going to exploit your bodies. Yeah, we do that. And then if we don't, once we run out of reasons to like you while you're alive, we want to watch you die too. You see the part in the movie where the dude from TMZ was literally about to die. And he's like, what is wrong with you? Why are you not recording this? That's the world we live in right now. But the thing is, it don't have to be. Because just like in the movie, how did they beat Jean Jacket, the name of the beast? How did they overcome Jean Jacket? They just stopped looking at it. God, y'all don't hear me though. Jordan Peele put a message in that shit. You just stop looking at it. Then it no longer has a hold over you. You no longer feel victimized by this. You no longer feel entertained by this. You no longer feel disgusted by this. You don't feel anything because you stopped giving it creed. And the thing is, it took the brother, OJ, it took him to understand all of this because he was so far removed from social media and all of this. You see how his sister behaved? His sister, everything she did was about trying to entertain folks. The first scene that we saw her in, she went from 0 to 100 and went into entertainment mode. Her brother's not being a spectacle. She's completely trying to entertain folks. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. And I mean, I think we should watch it again. I think we need to do a watch along. There was so much in this movie that made me say, wow. You know, if and sometimes I wish Jordan Peele would just say what he means. You know, I know he wants to make a movie that makes you think, but when people are going to the movies, a lot of times they're just going for the entertainment. They're not looking for no deep message with a shovel that they need with the shovel, you know. But to watch it at home and to be able to truly just be in your own element and understand what he's trying to say. Sometimes, like I said, I wish he would just come on out, come to the point. But because this is a movie and it's supposed to be, on one hand, entertaining, and another hand, give you a message, I'll F with the message. I will. I do F with that message. Thank you, Jordan Peele, because now, you know, I need to remember my You can't hear me on YouTube? I don't know what's going on. Felicia is on Facebook. She can hear me. I don't know. I don't know why you can't hear me on YouTube, Bunny. Trying to show her that you're on YouTube, I mean that you're on Facebook. Maybe she'll catch on. I'm also on Twitter. I'm also on Twitch. So wherever you are, join in if you like. There's lots to say. I got a lot to say. Yeah, I'm not trying to look down my nose at others either, because, you know, the fact that I know about Shanquella means I watched the video. Now, I didn't have any intention of continuing to relish in that young lady's pain, in the family's pain. But the mother seems to be on the side of keep this video out because I want people. Okay, Bunny, I see you. Shaquella's mom seems to be on the side of keep the video out because I want justice for my daughter. So I need to know it. I need to know what happened over there in Mexico. I need to get more people involved, and the more people that she wanted involved was one of those people was the FBI, and the FBI has gotten involved. If I understand correctly, the FBI is now involved in. Let me try to look up the actual. Try to look up the actual conversations over on Twitter. Yeah, these we got people who are over there are saying that they hope that she's getting justice. A jealous friend is worse than a known enemy. This is true. But yeah, people are talking about it. People are talking about it, but then we're also seeing that people are again exploiting this young lady's death, because there are people, and I don't know if you saw that, I kind of went past it kind of quick, where they were saying this young lady, somebody photoshopped the picture and made it look like she was a guy or a transgender female. That is not the case. Shanquella was born a female. Yes, I am, Lasana. Talk about that young lady who lost her life. The video went around, and it brought me back to the movie Nope. So I was talking to Felicia about Nope, how that movie is pretty much encapsulates how I feel about that young lady, because the video was released, I'm guessing by the mom. Just because the video is there doesn't mean we should watch it. That is pretty much the moral of the story for Nope. Just because this monkey, and I'm going back to the monkey, just because they are exploiting this monkey for a TV show for your entertainment don't mean that you should watch it. Now, just because this monkey hears a balloon pop and then the monkey does what monkeys do when they get scared, that don't mean that you should watch the monkey doing it. But yet, this is how they continue to exploit this animal even after his death. When the animal didn't perform the way that they wanted him to perform, they killed the animal. And the same thing happened with the horses. And again, as Alessandra, I know you were over on the other site. Also, the same thing happened with Emerald when she came into the movie, when we first met her. Hey, Nina, my Nina. Hey, girl. when Emerald first came into the movie, she came in, hey, over the top. She gotta entertain. I gotta entertain people. We don't have to be the life of the party. We don't have to be the entertainment. And if you stop doing things just to be seen, just for the spectacle, then they will stop expecting us to entertain them. The same thing goes. I mean, we talking about the horses, we talking about the monkey, we talking about the people. Finally, we get to talk about the little alien, or not the little alien, the alien, the jean jacket. The minute you stop paying attention to him, you stop looking at him, you defeated him. He's no longer a threat to you because you're not watching him. And anywho, and that's what I say. We need to stop. We need awareness about these things that are happening out here, so that our nieces, like my Nina, our nieces and nephews and daughters and sons are not going through life with these blinders on, and understand that around every corner there is a little danger. But that doesn't mean that we need to live and relive and traumatize our youth with this thing. We don't need to traumatize ourselves, and we definitely don't need to use it as entertainment. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about this story without making that video go viral. And we need to. I don't know. It's easy to say what we could have done to help Shanquella Robinson, but we can stop another Shanquella Robinson from happening. And I mean, on two fronts. We can keep it 100% real with the young people in our lives, and tell them that just because a person says they are your friend, they're not your friend automatically. A friend is not all the time a noun. A friend is a verb. A friend is more about what they do than about what they say. You know what I mean? So if I can explain that to my grandson and my nieces and nephews and all of the little people who look to me for some wisdom, if I can explain that and make them understand that, then I've done my best to keep another Shanquella Robinson from happening. But then we also don't want if there is a situation where one of these kids get into something and it's videotaped, we don't want them victimized in that way either. I don't want nobody passing around a video. Hey, hey, Dreamwalker, you said you decided to download your Twitter archive just in case it goes down, but so far it still seems to be functioning. I mean, I don't expect for it to be immediate, Dreamwalker, but I do expect for it to maybe not crash, but the downfall of that company, the downfall of that site. That site was different than the other social media sites, and I know you are younger than me, so this is probably something else like I'm preaching to the choir, but uh, there are several different, I guess, trains of thought on social media. Like, if you want to know what's going on, a lot of people head to Twitter. And I mean, what's going on in the world? What's the trending topics? What are people talking about? What's the big news stories? What are your big entertainment, your big sports? All of that is right there. Boom, the minute you open it up, you are inundated with news, and then you can also find opinions. And you go over to Facebook, and that's unfortunately where a lot of the people my age, we tend to like Facebook, because that is one of the first, is mine too but mine, Facebook is one of the first social media sites that we kind of got an understanding of after the MySpace days. So we got MySpace, and then the next thing was Facebook. So everybody went to Facebook and they just stayed there. But now that means that you're basically around a bunch of people who are quote unquote people or friends, and those friends tend to keep you in a bubble. And by that I mean, you start to get into a pattern of thought that is echoed. You're in this echo chamber on Facebook, where most of the people there think like you think and believe what you believe, and nobody is challenging anybody. And then you got friends who don't understand what the difference between real news and satire, or real news and I just made this up. And they pass that around, and then you start believing this fake news, scare quotes. So you start believing the fake news because you keep seeing it over and over again, and it looks real. It's not real. It's not real. So now, you got a site full of middle-aged people my age. You got a site full of misinformed people. And if you think differently than the people in your group, they have the power to ostracize you out the group. So you continue to think, at least publicly, it looks like you continue to think just like everybody else in your friend group. That's scary, because you don't, if you never come out of there, that's a vacuum. And that's what the younger folks say about Facebook. Not just me. I'm not saying it, but it's what the young folks say. Oh, that's where our mama and daddy go, and they believe anything and blah blah blah. Dreamwalker said, politics, friends, game fandoms, music, and me complaining to companies. That's pretty much what my face. That's what I mean. I'm sorry. That's pretty much what my Twitter looks like. My Twitter is politics. I don't really have any friends on Twitter. Not no, friends. So I have politics. I've got not game fandoms, but movie fandoms, entertainment. I don't do music too much, but I do kind of dibble dabble in my sports still, and I do complain to companies. If you want to get heard complaining to a company, do it on Twitter. Immediately, they will contact you immediately, because they don't want that on Twitter, because they're afraid that, forget telling your 10 friends, you done just told 1,000 friends what this company did to you, and they don't want that on Twitter. So anywho, and then Dreamwalker says he had MySpace in like 2005 to 2009. I think that's about right. Yeah, that's pretty much about when I had it. I think it may have been like 2002, 2003-ish. I can't remember when I started, but yeah, 2009 was when it was over, and I moved over to Facebook. And I didn't leave Facebook until a couple of years ago. Like when I started doing, after the Snap, the podcast form that I was doing before I started getting on YouTube and stuff. That's when I jumped on Twitter because I was just like, I got to get on Twitter. I got to learn how to work it. And I would prefer to be on Twitter because that again, I don't run into the echo chamber as much. I am surrounded by on even on Twitter around a lot of progressive thinkers, but I still want to hear what the conservative uh, thinkers want to say. Yeah, me too. I still use Facebook too, Dreamwalker. It's not like I've thrown my Facebook away. And I mean, I use it for more than just the after the snap stuff. The Tasha Pierce stuff is still on Facebook. I just know that um, I just know the limitations of the app as far as for me. Like me saying, for instance, I just said it. Me telling my friend group on Facebook, we talking about a situation where a young lady lost her life and it was videoed, and I'm like, oh, we don't need to watch that video. And the first thing everybody wanted was for me to send them the video. So that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. And Dreamwalker said, yeah, I don't like isolating myself. I'm not religious, but I've been to church with friends in the past. And that's me as well. I'm not religious anymore. I still say that I have a spirituality about myself, but I'm not religious in no way, shape, or form. And I don't want religion shoved down my throat, and I'm not going to shove being agnostic down your throat. So, but if you continuously talk church, 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 and I'm just listening. But the minute I say, you know what, I don't believe this no more. Now you trying to tell me what I have to believe or that sort of thing. I can't do that. Um, and I can't say that it has happened. It hasn't happened often anyway. So yeah. Yep. And that is 100%. This is what I've been talking about. Felicia says people on Facebook believe whatever a person who is popular believes. Exactly. Because I even found myself, and y'all know that I do have a bit of an ego. I can get a little bit a little bit egotistical about myself at times. But I can sit and have a conversation like I'm doing right now and talk for an hour or two about something and make 150 great points. And then the very next day, somebody popular will say it on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or wherever, but basically Facebook, like Felicia said. And instead of saying, oh, Tasha, you said that too, they didn't even hear me say it. Now they sending me this person's thoughts like they were the originator of this thought or this. I'm like, I said, but these are things that I just said yesterday. But I'm not popular enough, so you didn't believe me. It didn't become correct. What I'm saying didn't become right until somebody with more followers than me said it. Are you serious? Is that how life? Is that how y'all dictate life? By how many followers a person has? So yeah, I agree with you 100%, Felicia. Yeah, you know what, Dreamwalker? Yeah, it's usually people who really know me, like in real life. Those are the ones who will slight me like that. Like people who are like Dreamwalker, Angus, Clarence, people who only know me through this medium have really sat down and listened to me and say, okay, she knows what she's talking about on this, and what she doesn't know, we can help her with. Now we are having conversations. We're meeting in the middle. People that know you in real life don't think that they don't think you're as smart as you are sometimes, especially middle-aged people. Like, it's like, I'm not going to give you credit for knowing that until somebody else said that what you said was right, and I'm going to give them credit for knowing it. I have invited all of my, I stopped even trying to invite my real life friends. Let me tell you how after the Snap got started, Dreamwalker, way back in 2018, I was really trying to grow. I really wanted to get bigger. And I thought I've got Facebook, a bunch of people who should believe, hey, I might be able to help my quote unquote real life friend get bigger, even if it's something that I'm not liking, because everybody is not into entertainment commentary. Everybody's not into the same movies and TV shows that I'm into, but you might know somebody who is. So what you do is just share the content. Hey, if you're into this, then I got a friend who talks about it, and here she is. But instead, nobody, they wouldn't even attempt to listen. I'd share and I'd share and I'd share and I'd invite and I'd ask people, listen and give me a honest critique of my delivery, not even what I'm talking about, just how I'm delivering the information. I had Tessa, Davina, let me think now, in the beginning, Tessa, Davina, my sister, Galen, and Huey. 5 people I knew in the beginning, 5 people I knew would listen and comment and all of that. 5 people. And I've got, like, I thought I had a lot of friends. 5 people. Then I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm asking them to do something, and if they were to do it, it would be disingenuous anyway. So if I've got to just figure out a way to grow on my own, I just have to do that. Because if they don't really care about what I'm talking about, then it's a waste of time them listening. I promise you, it took for me to start doing true crime podcast, me doing the exact thing that I'm just talking about everybody else for doing. I'm going to get to that in a second. I started a true crime podcast. That podcast grew astronomically in a matter of months. But guess what? The content, it's one thing to be a true crime fan and to listen and, and you can know the stories and everything. It's something entirely different when you are researching week after week true crime and you are just immersing yourself in true crime and everything that you're talking about or that you're consuming is murder, 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 kill, kill, kill. I couldn't do that anymore. And now I'm like, I shouldn't have done it in the first place. The more, the wiser I get as I get a little older, I get a little wiser. The more wise I get, I'm like, damn, you was doing that too. You was sitting there talking about people who died and stuff and hoping to blow up on Apple Podcast or Spotify. You was relishing in a person's pain and not just relishing in it, not just being entertained by it. Those are different. I was literally hoping that I got big as a true crime podcaster. That's me being real 100, keeping things 100. I wanted to get big before I realized the toll that it was taking on my mental health. Yeah, Dreamwalker is too much murder. Yeah, it was too much murder, sir. I couldn't do it no more. I was like, no, I can't. I can't. Especially we started getting into real shit happening. Like, I mean, you starting to follow not only the old crime cases that you know over and over, your Jeffrey Dahmers and your John Wayne Gacy's, and these are demons that are gone. They're deceased. They can't hurt you anymore. They've done all the damage that they were going to do. I'm currently trying to get big on Thanos killing half of all people. Imaginary people. And speaking of which, I guess I can go into this MCU theory And I can't say that it's my theory. I heard this theory elsewhere, and it was I heard it on the John Campea show. You know, I listen to John Campea every now and then. So I was listening to John Campea, and Robert Meyer Burnett, his co-host, had a theory. And I'm sitting there like, as I'm, I was making some pancakes this morning. And as I'm cooking this breakfast and listening to Robert Meyer Burnett's, listening to his theory, I'm like, why the hell did I not think of this? Why didn't I think of this? Now, little parts of his theory, easily. I was thinking like, okay, I'm gonna tell you his theory first. His theory is that phase 4 of the MCU, each movie does not necessarily take place in our on our Earth. So if the Earth that we are residing in the MCU is Earth 616, then what his theory is that each one of these movies does not necessarily take place in Earth 616. We know Doctor Strange takes place on Earth 616, but we don't know about any of the other movies. And so he's saying that it's a possibility that because this is the multiverse saga, that each one of those movies took place in a different place in the multiverse. And then what made me think about that even more is Angela Bassett. If you've not yet watched Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I'm going to invite you to check out if you like, so that you won't get spoiled. Now, if you don't mind a spoiler or two, hang out with me. But if you don't want to get spoiled, I understand, and I will, I won't hold it against you if you leave. So that was my spoiler warning for Wakanda Forever, and I'm going to put it across the bottom of the screen so that people will not. Okay, Felicia, yeah, you got to bounce. I know you can't. I know you're not. I don't want to spoil it for you. But yeah, and put it across the bottom of the screen also so that people know that I am about to drop a dime. All right, talk to you tomorrow, sis. I love you. Okay. Here's what makes me think that Robert Meyer Burnett's here's what makes me think that Robert Meyer Burnett's theory is correct. So again, go back to his theory. He says he believes that each movie in phase 4 of the MCU is not necessarily a part of Earth 616. We know that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was Earth 616, but we don't know about any of the others. And what makes me think that he might be on to something is Angela Bassett's character, Ramonda, the queen of Wakanda, was killed, right? She died in the movie. And I was thinking, as I was explaining it to some of my friends, hey, well, maybe she was just at the end of a contract and she didn't want to re-sign the contract. And this was a way to get her out of the contract and to keep the story moving. Well, now it turns out that Angela Bassett was pissed when she found out her character was getting killed off in Wakanda Forever. And she's like, the fans are not going to go for this. She was mad. And Ryan Coogler told her, well, dead ain't dead in these comic book universes. Dead is not dead. You might, you could very well be coming right back. So why would you tell her that? Why would he say that? Why would that be at least pretend like the character is dead, right? Why would you say dead ain't dead? You might be back. Unless you knew that dead ain't dead, you might be back. So to me, it's she may very well be coming back. What's up, D? D, you can hear me on Facebook. Oh, you can hear me on YouTube. Let me know. Okay, so if dead ain't dead, we know that anyway. We've seen people come back. Loki has come back 6 or 7 million times, right? So we know that people can come back to life from dying in the MCU. But why would you drop that hint to a character who just recently died? Okay, thanks, girl. I'm glad you can hear me. That just recently died. This theory is making more and more sense to me, and I'm sitting here like, why didn't I think of that? Because the way that I was thinking about it is, oh, they're just going to bring a T'Challa from another universe, or they're going to bring so and so from another universe, such and such from another universe. But what if this whole story of this Wakanda Forever story was never in the universe that we're in right now anyway? It was never in Earth 616. So Wakanda Forever, that would explain why Namor, uh, just appears. I mean, let's think about it. It would explain why in the Eternals, this big celestial is just appeared in the water and nobody is really talking about it. Every once in a while, we see somebody talking about it. It also makes sense that when we think about She-Hulk and we think about the fact that in She-Hulk, on a website on her computer, they were talking about a character with blades for fingers, but we've not heard about that in any other part of the MCU. This could very well be each one of these movies taking place in on a different Earth. Am I making sense? And it's not, like I said, not my theory. I don't want to claim it, but I can currently expound on this theory, um, because now that that thought has entered my mind, I can take it to the very next logical thought. Yeah, it's crazy. I was so happy. I was like, oh my goodness, Robert Meyer Burnett, you are a genius. It could be that all of these movies did let's try to remember now. In Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and I can watch the movie again, and I probably may, because now I have to watch all of Phase 4 again just so that I can compare it with this new theory. Do we think that in Multiverse of Madness, um, did Doctor Strange mention Spider-Man at all? Did he mention the situation with Peter Parker? And I need to bring up, in a second here, I'm going to bring up all of the movies from Phase 4. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's see, because I'm confusing myself here. Um, okay, so I know if you're listening to me on Twitter, there are no visuals. I apologize for that. But if you want to see the visuals, you can always go to After the Snap Movies and TV. You can watch the rebroadcast on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitch. Okay, so I'm about to show this visual, even though in this, I'm not showing anything. I'm not showing anything. Doody doody doo. it's nothing novel. There's no novel ideas. I'm not showing anything that is. I'm just showing the names of the movies, and I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I'm using this to help me think, and to help me think. Okay, we had Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Black Widow, and Thor: Love and Thunder. Um, I am of the belief that if I had to choose out of all of these movies, which ones did not occur in Earth 616, I would say possibly. Now, this is just me thinking, this is not me saying this is really how shit goes. Okay, y'all know these are my opinions. I would say Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I would say Spider-Man No Way Home. I would say Eternals. And I would say Shang-Chi. Those four movies could very well have occurred in another universe. And then we just have because we don't have an awful lot tying the story to anything that's happened in this universe besides Thanos. But we know that Thanos happened in multiple universes. We know that from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We know that on Earth 616, where our Doctor Strange is, we know that Thanos did his snap and all of the events of Infinity War and Endgame occurred. We also know that on Earth 838, in the same movie, same events occurred. We had him snap, Thanos snap, and we had the events of Infinity War and Endgame. All of that occurred. We didn't hear any talk. We heard some talk of Thanos, but we know that happened on multiple universes. We don't have an awful lot that ties Black Panther Wakanda Forever into our reality. This is like a true bridge to our reality. We don't have an awful lot of facts that tie that movie to this reality, Earth 616. We also didn't see anything tethering Spider-Man No Way Home to Earth 616. I don't think we heard Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I don't think we heard Doctor Strange reference Spider-Man No Way Home at all. Any of the events that happened in that movie. It was like it didn't happen, right? Shang-Chi is just too fantastical for it to have occurred on Earth 616 without anybody else referencing it. Now, we did see at the end, we saw Bruce with his arm in the sling, right? And we saw Captain Marvel at the end of Shang-Chi. Captain Marvel had longer hair, and she dipped. She didn't give no phone number, nothing. She just dipped, right? And Bruce Banner had his arm in the sling still, even though by the time we get to She-Hulk, there is no sling. He fixed his arm. There's no sling, and he's still in the Hulk form. It's a lot of questions that could be asked about all of these different movies and whether or not they're occurring in the same world. And if they are not occurring in the same world, which ones are sharing worlds? I honestly believe Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Black Widow, and Thor: Love and Thunder could very well be Earth 616. The rest of those movies could be anywhere. Which also could, even though I still don't know how they would do it, it also could bring back T'Challa in Black Panther. And I'm gonna give you another example of how this could happen for especially Black Panther, especially that one. how it could happen is we know that we're getting Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is a storyline in which some or many of the characters who we thought were, bam, this character was actually a Skrull. You know that the Skrulls are shapeshifters and they can appear to be anybody else that they like. And they could have these, the person that they are replacing, they can have that person uh, in bondage, or, you know, keeping them prisoner while they live their life on the outside world. I can, and I'm not saying I hope they do this because it's crazy, but I could see if in like Black Panther, T'Challa being replaced by a Skrull, and living out the Skrull living out his life as T'Challa, basically. The only thing that would throw a wrench in that situation is how do we bring T'Challa, how do we bring him back looking different without and what would be the explanation of T'Challa coming back looking different and saying, that Skrull had replaced me all this time, I wasn't dead. The Skrull got sick because of the heart-shaped herb or something of that nature. So now the Skrull has to take the heart-shaped herb for whatever reason or whatever, and the Skrull's physiology can't handle it. So now this Skrull got a disease and it's dying, and the real Black Panther is still alive somewhere. I don't know. Y'all tell me. It's plausible because we're going to see a lot of people who we thought were one person really being Skrulls. The big one that people are thinking is going to be a Skrull is Rhodey, James Rhodes. A lot of people think that ain't James Rhodes. That's a damn Skrull. So, so if it's a Skrull, you know, if he's a Skrull and has been for literal years, then anybody could be a Skrull for literal years. So, anywho, look, I came here. I want to talk about Twitter. We talked about it. We've covered some talking about Nope. We've covered talking about some true current events. I didn't come here for a long time, but I came here for a good time, and I've had that. So I am going to close things out with let's just think about that, and y'all got to think about ways that we can expound on the theory that that Phase 4 has been all over the multiverse instead of just on Earth 616. You know, it helped me cultivate this theory a little bit more. I'm trying to put it in a way that makes a lot of sense, and so far it's making good sense. It's just me being able to articulate what could have occurred next, what can occur after that. I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun today because I talked about stuff that we don't normally talk about. Yeah, I'm coming back either Monday or Tuesday with the box office top 5 at 5 and, you know, our regular news stories. But today was just like, I just need to talk. And while my boss Ashton is out, you know, he's out in the streets tonight. While he's out, I said, let me hold an impromptu conversation. I'm glad that those of you who were able to joined me. And I am going to now, I guess, sit around and try to figure out how I can make this make sense. And then maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more on the next time we get together here. With all that being said, it's been fun. Thanks everybody for joining me. All of my my backers, Davina, Lysandra, my sister Felicia, Dreamwalker. Thank you guys for being here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.